And a happy new year to you. Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley with you here from WFMY. Thanks for watching us on WFMY Plus for a look at your weather on this first day of January and where we're going from here. Well, let's go along for the ride, right? January can bring us a little bit of everything sometimes and often can be pretty interesting when it comes to winter. So let's get right into it and talk all about what we saw. You know, as far as New Year's Day, it's been a little bit warmer than you might expect from that first part of January. And let's take a look at the numbers. You know, right now we're sitting at about the 40s outside, so it's not all that uncomfortable at the moment. We have low 40s and mid 40s around the Piedmont right now. Been a pretty nice day overall, and more comfortable than you might expect, like I said, for this time of year. Looking at our sky cameras, everything is kind of quiet and comfortable at the moment. Winston-Salem, we had a nice sunset earlier. Burlington looking okay too. Mostly a clear sky to be found around the area right now. But for that first day of the month, here are some of your numbers you might be interested in. Mostly sunny skies throughout the course of the day. We started the morning at about 30 degrees. We warmed up the afternoon to about 54. So a lot of warmth to be had this afternoon. Certainly more than you might expect, like I said. The average high for this time of year is 49 degrees, and we got better than that by about 5 degrees this afternoon. The record high, if you're curious, is 77, set back in 2022. The record low, just 8 degrees, set back a long time ago. High temperatures for today, mid-50s around the area. Looking in the mountains as well, temperatures in the 30s. That's all that they were able to get up to in Boone, in Jefferson. So from Watauga County to Ashe County, it was still feeling like winter. And something wild as well, you know, the high winds, we've gotten rid of them here, but boy, oh boy, the winds have still been gusting in the North Carolina mountains. Take a look at this. West Jefferson clocked a 67 mile per hour wind gust today. Boone, 62. So wild winds continue in the high country, but not the case here. Locally, it was not a very gusty or very windy day of weather at home. So really, it just depended on where you were. Temperatures around the country, again, there's a dividing line. So there's a bit of a boundary to be found, and you can see it very clearly by looking at something like this. These are your current temperatures across the eastern United States. Great Lakes, Upper Midwest, Northeast, Ohio Valley, Mid-Atlantic, cold, just really cold. Cold weather is everywhere up that way. And they had some snow showers kind of coming through even during the New Year's Eve festivities. Across the South, totally different. And I know you might say, well, that's normal. But it is kind of interesting to view it this way, that you have such a sharp dividing line, right? So we have a very clear dividing line looking here at where the warmth is and where the chill is. And that's kind of something interesting. We are going to find some temperature changes over the next week of weather in our lives. Let's take a look at this. We'll see upper 50s for tomorrow, and then just low 40s. In fact, we might be in the 30s with rainfall on Saturday afternoon. Beyond that, we'll be in the low 50s for a little bit, and then bumping right back up into the 60s. So there's a lot of variety coming our way over the next week of weather. So let's kind of dive in to where that's coming from and what's happening. Start you out with the surface map. This is kind of where we're looking at where the systems are moving across the country. So take a look. We have low pressure pushing our way from the west. So for tomorrow, we'll start out with sunshine and dry weather. But as the afternoon wears along, we'll start to thicken up the clouds. And those clouds thickening up will be a clue that a new system is on the way. And here it is. Showers are pretty likely on Saturday. Now, it's not a guarantee that you're going to get a lot of rain, but rain will be a possibility Saturday morning, into the midday on Saturday, and even a little bit into Saturday afternoon. We have some cold air trying to move in from the north at the same time. So when we're doing this, we're trying to bring in a chill. This is a recipe to see falling temperatures throughout the day. You think about it this way. We're bringing in cold air. At the same time, we're thickening up the clouds. We're having rainfall as a possibility. You're not really allowing the atmosphere to warm up the way it usually does. We're not taking advantage of the sunshine. So it's likely to be what we would call just a pretty raw day of weather. Temperatures likely in the 30s with that rainfall for the afternoon. And again, not a monsoon, not super heavy rain or anything like that, but scattered showers are a good bet, and it is something that you'll want to be aware of. So what we want you to know, rain is on the way. Chilly rain too, scattered chilly rain showers throughout the day on Saturday. They could be starting in the morning, lingering through the late afternoon into the evening. Warm rain gear is a good recommendation. You don't just want to be dry, you also want to be warm. And think about it this way, it's cold enough that in Virginia, some of this could be coming in not just as rain, but even as some wet snow showers or a mixed bag. So not a factor for us, but that is something of a factor for Virginia. If you have travel up that way, keep that in mind. Most of it should just be kind of wet. I wouldn't expect white roads out of it, but again, something to keep an eye on. Futurecast looking ahead towards Saturday. Here's the morning. This has been trending a little bit faster, a little bit quicker throughout the area. So look at that. That's early morning on your Saturday. Temperatures pretty chilly, staying chilly throughout the daytime. And again, if you have a book that you got for Christmas, something you want to just kind of read or do some house chores, Saturday is probably the day to be doing that. Rain will be finishing up by the evening, and then we welcome in drier weather back for Sunday. So Sunday looks to be pretty comfortable. Here's the rain forecast, about 1/4 of an inch for our area, around 1/4 of an inch of rain, I should say, comes our way for then. So as far as the weekend goes, Saturday, that's the cloudy, cold, damp, and dreary one. And then Sunday, we start to warm things up yet again. It does look to be pretty nice for Sunday, so you can salvage that if it's your last day off before going back to work after the holidays. Looking farther, though, longer range now, we're taking a look at January 7th through January 11th, which is late next week into the weekend. This is the climate outlook for then. Very good chance of above average temperatures. So I talked about how 60s are probably coming back to us. Way above average, considering where we typically are this time of year in the upper 40s, we'll be above that. And that's something I would endorse. I think that's the right way to look at it going into the end of next week. Here's a 7-day forecast for our Piedmont area. Temperatures will be in the upper 50s for your Friday. Then looking ahead towards Saturday, that's the big impact day that we'll be tracking for you. It's cold, it's dreary, it's damp, it's cloudy and gray, all of those things. After that, the sunshine comes back out, and honestly, it's a pretty quiet weather pattern going beyond early next week. We should be back into the 60s by Tuesday and Wednesday, and even into the mid 60s as well. So definitely warming up in a big way, and that's what our forecast is. Stick around. Coming up, we'll have more on Carolina weather. Just a couple minutes.